Now the 30-minute process to put all this stuff away. What I do for you guys, the sacrifices I make for YouTube. Hey guys, Ernie here, Paleo Hiker MD, and today we're going to do a little bit of a different video. I have been asked by multiple people to do a video describing or detailing the camera gear that I use to film out in nature and to create my YouTube channel. So that's what we're going to do today, so stay tuned and we're going to look at the camera gear that I use. Thanks for watching. Okay guys, so we're going to take a look today at the gear that I use. I have two main cameras and we're going to go through each of those, and then we're also going to go through the other gear that I use. Now, I do two types of videos basically. I either do outdoor videos where I'm out in the field shooting things. I prefer not to be raining, obviously. Anybody who does this stuff knows that even though you can use waterproof cameras, it just doesn't work as well. So I do outdoor videos and I do videos like this, which are indoor videos. And they definitely are a little bit different. So let's sit down and look at two cameras that I use first. Now I'm filming today with my GoPro Hero 4 Black Edition. That is obviously the kind of action camera that I use. I use it for a lot of moving shots. I use it, believe it or not, for a lot of still photography. I really like the way that the GoPro takes pictures. It's very easy for me to do it. When I go hiking, a lot of times I'll actually hang or mount the GoPro to my walking stick and just use it to take pictures instead of video. Now, so I have the GoPro. I have multiple mounts for it. I'm going to step out and grab something and I'll show you guys what I got. Now for each of my camera's systems, I have one of these. This is just a basic Amazon version. I'll move my coffee here. Amazon version of a backpack for camera gear. So in this backpack I have all my GoPro stuff. I found that even though these are about $30, actually I'm looking right now, $24.99 for each of these backpacks. I have two of them. And it just really allows me to keep things together because otherwise I would lose a lot of things. So I have your basics. What I use for batteries, I have this Wasabi power pack. With two extra batteries. I have one GoPro battery in the GoPro, and then I actually have a power pack that sits on the back. Of course, like you guys know, you have all these backs. The only thing kind of specialized is, of course, I do have a case that's extended for the battery pack. So one extra thing that I do have, I have all the basic, clips and mounts and all that stuff. But I do have, which I got for Christmas, and I have not used a whole lot yet, is one of these 3-axis gimbals. These things are pretty cool for really steady shots with the GoPro. They're battery powered. I have the battery stuff here. And honestly, what I think I'll use this mainly for is, believe it or not, vacation footage. It is a very delicate little thing. I don't want to mess it up because it was fairly expensive. So I think the chances of me taking it on like an outdoor adventure are fairly low, but I definitely think it's a pretty awesome piece of gear. And we're selling our house right now. I was able to make a video for the house and it was super smooth and really nice. I've got a lot of good comments on it. So that's pretty much the GoPro setup that I have. I'll have all the basic stuff you would expect for the GoPro. One extra thing is I do have a battery adapter that goes to the side. It's basically a USB adapter that comes out to a place to plug up your microphone. So that is my GoPro setup. All right guys, so honestly I don't use my GoPro a whole lot out in the field. As far as for a lot of things where I may be narrating and stuff, the sound quality on it is not the best. And I would rather use my other main camera, which is my video camera, standard video camera for most of my shots, and that's for a couple of reasons, and we'll probably talk about that at the end of the video before I finish up. But this is my main camera. It is the Sony HDR CX380. Now, we actually bought this camera for our family. I think my parents may have actually bought us this when we had our last baby, to help, you know, document things. And I tell you, it has turned out to be a wonderful camera for what I do on YouTube. It's pretty lightweight, it's compact, you can see it's very easy to hold if you want to hold it. A couple of things that I really like about this camera. The microphone works very well out in the field. As long as things are quiet, I can adjust the volume with my editing software, and almost always, as long as I'm talking pretty normal voice, I can get good audio out of it without having to use a wireless camera or a wireless microphone. Now, I have a microphone that I can use that's wireless, that I can bring in that audio later into the editing software that I use. But it really seems to make things more difficult. It makes my Mac work a lot harder. If you guys have any input on that, on what I could do, but it really seems to slow the whole editing process down when I use external audio. So I need to work on that. Anyway, this camera has obviously a viewfinder. That viewfinder can be flipped around so that I can see it whenever I am videoing. The other thing that I really like, it has a power plug-in right here for a external microphone that I use on all of my internal or inside videos. I'm using it right now. I'll show you guys that here in a second. It uses standard HD cards. It has very good image stabilization, as I think you guys can see on most of the videos. And one of the things I love most about these cameras, and even the new camera that I'm looking at getting, which is basically a 4K version of this, they use these pretty universal and very inexpensive batteries. They come basically in small, medium, and large is kind of what I call it. They come with the regular batteries, but these batteries are 2,500 milliamps per battery, which is about 4 times, I think, or 5 times the normal. I'll show you guys. I have a little bag here with all my batteries. Very easily charged, as you can see with the charger. The standard Sony battery is the one that comes with the battery. It is 500 milliamps, so 500. These are the initial replacements that I bought. They're 1,050, and these boosted up to 2,500. So between this to this, it's about 1.5 times battery power. I find that with this power in decent weather, as far as temperature, I get 3 hours of battery out of one battery. So that's a pretty good deal. And these batteries, I'll put the cost of everything, I should have said that at the beginning because it should already be started, but I'm putting the cost of everything at the bottom of the screen for you guys so you have an idea how much this stuff costs. I've accumulated this camera gear over probably 3 or 4 years, so it's expensive. It's not the kind of thing that you can just buy at once, but of course it's multi-purpose for us because we use it for our family and for fun. So I use it for YouTube and I use it for our family. So that's basically the Sony video camera that I use. The HDR CX30, this whole series I think is great. This particular camera is very affordable. You know, it's a good quality without overspending. The other good thing is it has integrated in it this little USB port. You can use this to export files if you want, although I don't do that, but you can use this to charge your camera in the field. So those are my 2 cameras, the GoPro and the Sony HD. Okay, so real quickly talking about sound. What I use mainly, like I said, the Sony itself has a great microphone. I rarely use any kind of external microphone when I'm out in the field. I just make sure that I set the camera up in a way that the microphone is facing me and that I speak in a decent voice. I don't have to yell at all. I can go back later and fix things from the standpoint of my editing software to increase the volume. I do use an external microphone, which is this right here. It's a lavalier microphone. It is a powered lavalier microphone. What that means is that it actually, in the line between the camera and the mic, there's a little on-off switch that's got batteries in it. And, you know, aside from the occasional time when you forget to either turn it on and power and audio doesn't come through, or you forget to turn it off and maybe you run your batteries out. I find the sound is much better. I have another lavalier microphone that was much cheaper that didn't have power, and I find that it doesn't work as well. I'll find out the exact model and everything. It wasn't an expensive microphone. It comes with a pretty long cord. Again, I'll put at the bottom how long the cord is. Right now, because of the way that the GoPro works, I mean, I'm a couple of feet from the GoPro. But one of the things I like about this particular system is that it has a long cord. So I'm able to run the cord underneath the table. You don't ever see it out there. I think it makes for a nicer video because the cord is just coming up through here. And if I really wanted to get fancy, I could put it up through my shirt and you wouldn't see it at all. But I don't know. It just seems like too much. I'm not that fancy of a YouTube channel, really. So that's it for audio. Pretty simple. I either use a microphone or I don't. All right, guys, so for mounts, etc. Now, GoPro mounts, I'm not going to go through. All the GoPro mounts are basically really cool. You can use the chest mount, the head mount. There's a lot of different things you can use. The main ones that I use are honestly a mount that attaches to a regular tripod because I use it a lot, and a mount that attaches, like I talked about, to my walking stick. I think those two are really cool. I can use the GoPro with just a walking stick, like to take video. I'll lean it up against a tree or whatever it might be and allow me to take some of those shots where I'm walking away or walking towards the camera. But as far as mounts go, the other thing that I use, this is an old Vivitar extending, this thing extends, tripod. I use this out in the field. It works great. It's very lightweight. It is not high quality. It's probably 20 years old. I'm pretty sure that I bought it at a garage sale maybe. I like this. It works really well and it holds things sturdy and it's not really expensive. So if one of these days it meets an unfortunate end in the woods, so be it. That said, it is starting to show its age. It's at times I'm having to put parts of it back together, but it's still working and I really like it. It's really basic. It's got your basic swivel head that does lock. You can put it, locks very well. All the systems of it work. It has a little wheel up here that you can increase the height just a little bit more. I don't think you have to spend a lot of money on a tripod. I'm sure an equivalent of this is probably $20, $30 these days, but works great for me. All right, so the other tripod that I use is what the GoPro is actually on right now. And it's just your basic, I think it's called the Gorilla Pod. Basically, it's the pod that has the adjustable top that you can swivel the camera, but then the legs themselves are bendable. So you can bend those around a tree, you can bend them around anything, and it really works well out in the field. I like using it. If I go on a backpacking trip or I go someplace where I'm going to go multiple nights, I really don't like carrying my tripod, so I get a little more inventive and just use the Gorilla Pod, and it works extremely well. I can use anything basically to set it up, to wrap it around, get good height off of. I had one that was really inexpensive that I bought from Amazon for like $5. It was really flimsy and it broke all the time. You have to put the pieces back together. I would suggest if you're going to be out there doing a lot of videos, this thing was like $30. It's the real deal from Joby. And actually, I got it from my son, I think for Father's Day, because I don't know if y'all know this, but if you keep going places and looking at stuff, because I'm kind of cheap, so I'll go with intentions of buying something, and I'll get there, and I'll be like, oh, $30, $35, I could buy this, or I don't need to buy that, whatever. So I'll stare at it. And luckily, and my son comes with me, those staring sessions a lot. So when it came time to get a Father's Day present, he's told my wife, he's like, I know exactly what he wants. This is a 7-year-old at the time. Know exactly what he wants, or 6-year-old. She takes him to Best Buy. He says, let's go to Best Buy. He walked right over to it, said, this is what Daddy wants. My wife's like, really? He's like, yeah, absolutely. So she was a little bit suspect. I was on cloud 9 when I got that thing for my son, so way to go, Webster. Those are the two main mounts that I used. Yeah. Okay, so lighting. I do use some lighting equipment here at my house. And I'm going to pick up the GoPro here in a second and get you all guys, give you a little vertigo as I turn you around. But I have some really basic lighting poles and stuff. I'll put a link again at the bottom. I bought them off Amazon. I do not remember how much they were. They were not expensive because I didn't want to spend a lot. I want to say maybe $50, $60, but I will find out for sure and put it at the bottom. That may be way off. But it basically came with 2 large tripods, 1 small tabletop tripod. It came with 3 lights that basically allow you to attach different umbrellas to them. These umbrellas you'll see in a second are like shiny umbrellas on the inside, and it puts the light back towards me. Other umbrellas are opaque, and the light goes through it and kind of gives a softer light. So I'm going to pick this up, show you guys real quick. You can see what the actual light looks like. You can see the tripod. This is the tabletop tripod right here, and that is the light. And I can't reach to turn it off, but you can see. And then I have another one over here. That's usually how I set up these particular shots in my house, so that there's better lighting. You don't need that. I mean, you absolutely do not need that. This is something that I like to do. And one of the things I'm really excited about with the new house and my new shop is I'm going to have kind of a permanent area that I can shoot videos and have my lights out. Because now after I shoot this, I have to take it all down. I got to put it all away, make sure my wife doesn't know it was all out because it makes a mess. You know that kind of. So that's what I use for lighting. It's really inexpensive. If you're wanting to improve the quality of your video, and a lot of people ask me this on YouTube, what kind of camera you use. There's 2 tricks. One of them is lighting, and the other one I'll show you guys in a little bit. Lighting is a big deal. It makes your camera look like it's better than it really is. So improve your lighting and improve your videos. All right, guys, so the last thing we're going to talk about for my videos is editing. Editing is something that a lot of people get into, a lot of people don't get into. Some people put their videos out and they're just like one long video, what they shot. And I think a lot of that has to do with just what kind of equipment you have and you can afford, because the truth is that you can spend a lot of money on post-production stuff. This year, or this last year, when I decided to really kind of push my YouTube channel a little bit more, I did make 2 major purchases. I bought a MacBook Pro, which really allows me to edit. Now we have an iMac that is in our classroom, homeschool classroom, but the kids use it a lot, and I found myself really needing to like spend a lot of late night time editing because that's the only time I could get on the computer. So I did buy myself a MacBook Pro that's kind of mine. I have just my YouTube stuff on it and work stuff on it, so I'm able to use it and it works really well. I also bought Final Cut Pro X, which is about $300 editing software. $300 is a lot of money. What you get for $300 is amazing. This program is amazing. I used iMovie for all my videos, probably the first half of my YouTube channel. They're on YouTube. I think they're great. It's free with a Mac. You can get iMovie. You can make awesome, awesome videos with iMovie itself. I just wanted the extra functionality, and it allows me a lot of things, which comes back to the second thing that makes videos better. I think the second thing that really makes videos better, for my tips, besides lighting, is your post-production, your editing, and changing the colors after you shoot your video. A lot of times the colors aren't quite right. They don't pop the way you want them to. Final Cut Pro X allows you to go in and change color, do color correction. It also has a lot of auto color corrections, things that you can go in and change all the different hues, and you can change the reds and the lights and all this stuff. I'm just not that good, and I have found one particular shade, or one particular, I don't even know what they call it, but it's called hard light. Hard light is what I use on most of my videos. I find that it really brings a lot of punch to my colors, and I just like the way it looks. Kind of gives it that edge that I like. And I use hard light on almost all my videos, and I probably will continue to. I could go in and I could change this and change that and be real specific with it, but I am not a video editor. I have no interest in spending hours staring at colors. So all I have to do is click on my stuff, click hard light, and give it time to render, and we're good to go. The last thing I use is a free program called Photor, F-O-T-O-R. That's how I create my custom thumbnails. It is so easy. Basically, when I find the shot or the frame that I want to use as my thumbnail, I export it as a screenshot, and then I use Photor to put my lettering in, put my words in, and that's it. Save it, and we're good to go. Really easy. That's a free program, and I have used it. I have a very specific way. I think it's good to kind of have a branded way that you make your thumbnails, and that's what I use to make mine. Okay, guys, so that is a look at what I use for camera gear. So a couple of things to kind of tie this together as far as what I have learned over the last year and a half making YouTube videos, and really over about 5 or 6 years of making videos and stuff just for our family. I use the GoPro in very specific situations. It is an amazing camera. It allows me to shoot in 4K, the one that I have, and that allows for a lot of editing changes. I can zoom in, zoom out, and it really allows me to do that because the quality is there and I don't gain graininess if I zoom in or zoom out, and you guys as the viewers don't see that graininess. I use it for photos a lot of times because I do like the way it takes wide angle shots. Obviously it's easily mounted, and if I'm doing anything in the car, if I'm attaching it to anything, if we're going kayaking, if we're going whitewater rafting, obviously the waterproof nature of the GoPro, unbeatable. That said, if you're going to start a YouTube channel, I would suggest you get a mid-range camcorder. I consider this to be a mid-range camcorder. You can spend $150, $180 on a camcorder. You could spend $800 or $900 on a camcorder. You could spend more. I think this camera is about $300 to $350, and I think that for what it allows you to do, something like this is best. It allows you to zoom, which is very important. I think you can zoom in and zoom out when you're taking videos. If you're out, with a GoPro and you see a deer, you get frustrated because you're like, okay, there's the deer. It's out there. You just gotta see it. With this, you can zoom in, and it works really well. It also allows you to do indoor quality videos with an extra added microphone. And I think that rich nature of the microphone that you add really makes a difference. The last thing that I really think is important is the editing. Don't be afraid to spend a little money on editing software. If you have a Mac, what you get for $300 with Final Cut Pro X, and the fact that they're going to continue to update it down the road. A couple years ago, Final Cut Pro was thousands of dollars, and they've been able to trim it down to $300. And it is truly, truly a powerful editing software. So that is my camera gear. Now that I've bored you all to death, and most of you probably aren't even watching anymore, sorry, but I've got quite a few PMs over the last couple months saying, listen, can you show us what you use? So I thought, sure. And I've put things together and I like what I use. I'm comfortable with it. Some of it is more expensive, some of it is not. You spend your money where you find that you need it to make the best quality videos you can. I've tried over the last 6 months to improve my video quality. You can't do that without some cost. I think you also need to just put the time in to try different things, angles, give yourself more time to shoot things. So anyway, as always, guys, I appreciate you guys watching. I appreciate the input from everybody. I appreciate the questions. If there's other questions, other things you guys want, feel free to send me a PM, put it in the comments below, interact with other people. That's what YouTube is all about. I appreciate the support. The channel continues to grow, and I hope you guys like this video. So like, comment, subscribe, give me the thumbs up, share on all the social medias and all that good stuff. Appreciate you guys spending some time with me today, and I hope that you learned something about what I did, obviously, to put together my camera gear for the channel, but maybe give you some ideas if you're looking to expand things. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned for another video soon.